I'm doing well, man. I am doing well. Can you hear me perfectly?
Oh yeah, 100%. How about me?
I can see you and I can hear you fine.
How do you see me? How do you see me? All these lights around me, man. This is real production here.
Let me put on my special glasses so we can get started. Oh man, this is nice. This is really nice, man. So, how have
This
you
is
been?
this is this is a social science experiment on the effects of coffee on a
Mhm.
guy who doesn't drink alcohol, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs. Still, coffee does something to them. Watch this video. The effect of coffee. This is sip number 3.
Well, if you're drinking something, cheers,
Ah,
bro. Cheers.
man, this is good.
It's actually, I hope the quality is good because you're a little bit buffering on your side. Uh,
Yeah, but I saw it looks the same way on your end. So the final product is going to look the way your camera look and the way my camera look.
Nice, nice, nice. I actually joined it on my computer rather than my phone because I was
Okay.
like, at least on my computer, I have access to this microphone, which is much clearer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and plus the lighting and the camera. I wanted to use the actual camera that I have instead of the phone camera.
perfect.
Nice one. Okay, give me 1 second, bro. I'm just going to put you in the center so that I can see you properly here. I tried joining this call on because I use a different browser than uh, Edge or what is it called? Chrome. I don't use Chrome. I don't use Edge.
Okay.
I use Brave because it's better in privacy and everything.
Yeah.
And I was trying to join the call with that browser, and I'm like, what the hell? It wasn't allowing me to access the microphone and the camera. So I've just opted in to use Edge, and it looks like it's working. So it's
And you are
fine.
recording on your end, right?
I have not even started recording on my end. That's what I'm also trying to set up on my side.
Okay.
So just give me one moment. Just bear with me.
All right.
Is it okay if I live stream, or should I just record it and then we'll post it later?
Do what you want to do on your end,
I,
bro.
I really
There are
wanted to.
no limitations in this planet. We just put them on ourselves.
That's actually
The,
true, bro.
the planet is unlimited.
Dude, you know when you told me this, man, it's just sparked a lot of thoughts. Okay, give me one moment. Let me set this up.
All right. I think I'll raise mine just a tiny bit. It can look like I'm talking. I'm speaking down. There. Now we're at the same level.
Ah,
Yeah, it
nice.
looks like I
Am
was
I
going
am I
down.
too close or too far away from the?
Oh no,
The distance is okay.
you are on the screen. Am I on the screen?
Yeah, you're perfectly centered, so it's fine.
Perfect.
Nice. All right, let me start the stream on my side as well. Man, I have so many things I want us to talk about today. I was preparing the entire week.
The stories you tell, bro. The stories you tell.
Hey, dude, the story that I have today, especially related to. Okay, we'll talk about it. Give me a second.
Man, you sent me that message of a girl you offered. Should we even go there? Let's not go there.
Let's not go. We'll go.
And
We'll
then she
go.
goes and compared notes with other people, and she's like, "Oh shoot, I missed out on something. Let me go, Karanga Kenovia here."
Oh, it's
Just tell them
crazy,
you know George. Everything will be okay.
dude. Ever
By
since, ever since I started talking to you, I think I've lost a couple of subscribers on my channel. And I'm just like, good riddance. Thank goodness I have cleansed. I have cleansed my channel.
man, just tell them, hey, by the way, hey, I know that guy called George. Oh, really? Hey, blocked, 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 blocked.
There was a woman that told me that the guy you're talking to on YouTube, that guy is putting some bad things in your mind.
Yes, yes,
Literally,
yes.
she had the
Guilty,
audacity to tell me that. And I was
guilty
like,
is
wow.
charged. Where is the prison? Where is the prison? I mean, it cannot be just an accusation and then go away.
Yeah.
No, no, no. We have to
Yeah.
follow this thing through. How much time does he serve?
Okay. All right. So I've started. Oh, wait 1 second. Today I am the one who's slightly behind. You know, I messaged you at 2:30 and I was like, okay, you haven't responded, so I don't know.
Oh,
Are you
bro,
going?
I wake up 30 minutes before the podcast starts. I blew some coffee, I go take a shower, I come in, I turn on these lights.
You're ready to
Oh, no,
go.
I'm ready. Bro,
Nice.
I'm ready on the dial. Born ready.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay, chat
Let me
box is
see, by the way.
open.
Okay. There's a way to touch mine and it becomes bigger.
Selecting the broadcast and let's see. Start streaming. Is it streaming? Okay, it is streaming, and let's see, go live. Okay, let's see. I think we are live on my side.
Okay.
And now what I need to do from my side is I need to only pin your video so that I don't have two images of myself on the screen. Okay. Let's see. I can get myself out of view there. Perfect. Okay, good. I think now
We're in business.
we are in business.
Okay.
And one last thing I want to check on the phone if the stream audio is coming through.
Oh, I see you tagging me. IQ is on call.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Let's see.
Oh, it's just 3 minutes delay. I mean, 3 seconds delay.
Nice.
Huh?
Perfect.
I see you live when we are live.
Let's go, man. All right. Now. Hey, let me open my notes 1 second. I even put down notes. I have notes, bro.
You've got questions.
I have got questions, man. Notes, questions, everything, man. All right, let me put this on the left here. And let me open my notes. So, there was one video you had talked about a woman cannot change. Okay? I watched that video and you were talking about a woman cannot change, a man can change, but a woman cannot change. So what I understood from that video was, okay, if women cannot change, how is a woman supposed to fit in a man's frame? We want a woman to fit in a man's frame, isn't it? Like, man is supposed to be, leading, taking control. So we want, if the woman isn't going to change to fit into the man's frame, so then how is that going to work out? And the other thing is the man always supposed to keep going out there trying to find a woman that fits in his frame? And if he finds a woman that fits in the frame, what if later on she actually reveals her true intentions, her true colors, and we have this understanding that she does not change? Then what does the man do at that point? Does he just say, oh, she's not going to change, I'm just going to have to leave her now at that point? So it was very interesting to me. Because how do I even articulate this point? A woman cannot change. The other thing I was thinking about was around this topic was the women that were brought up many years ago, decades, generations ago, and the women that are brought up today. Their their values are different. And even women that have lived through all the years into this new generation, their perception of how relationships should be and what a man should be have changed. So how is it that a woman cannot change? And I remember us talking about her, that women have better adaptability to the dating market than men. And I think, me personally, I feel like men are more traditional, still traditional. They still want to be in that provide, protect kind of role. But women have adapted and evolved from that mentality of, I want to be submissive, but now I want to be a leader and I want to be in charge, and 50-50, and men and women are equal kind of thing. And they've changed. So there's also that thing that I was just thinking about. So yeah. So this was something I was thinking about. What do you
All right,
what do you have to say
give me,
about
give
that?
me 1 minute. An idea just came to me.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to share your live stream
Mm-hmm.
with my subscribers on my phone, on WhatsApp. So
Oh,
everybody who has my WhatsApp number is going to see it.
nice.
So now it's there. Yeah, just now. All right, now. So let's dial back a little bit. I did not say a woman cannot change. I
Uh-huh.
say stop trying to change the woman. A man can change. A woman can change a man. A man can change a man. But a man cannot change a woman. A woman does not change. She's changing to what? I mean, a woman is a natural being. Her whole essence is in tandem with the universe. She has a universal duty to carry life.
Yeah.
You don't want that one to change. And
Yeah.
I will show you a picture of a woman who has changed, and you see how dangerous that picture is. She's a feminist.
Yeah.
She's a feminist.
Okay. I was actually waiting for you to say that. So my counter argument is this. Let me
You
give you a
don't want a
perfect.
woman changing.
Okay. My counter argument. Let's use the analogy of a wild animal. Let's say a lion, for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have a man approaches a lion. He doesn't have the information. He approaches the lion, he's going to be attacked, right? He doesn't know this lion can actually kill him. He approaches the lion without the information, he's attacked. Now he has the information, he has the power. Why wouldn't he want to try and tame the lion, try and like stop this lion from causing harm to society, the public, the person himself, and the lion himself? Because if a lion is left unchecked in the jungle, it's going to eat all its prey, and then it will die of starvation. It will want to just try and take control of every living thing around it, and kill it and eat it. And I think if a man comes into the situation with that information and says, this cannot go unchecked, we need to put some boundaries on here. I feel like women sit in that kind of a category. Like, if we leave them unchecked and we allow them to do whatever they want to do and just run free and wild, is that the right thing to do?
So let's go back to the term you used earlier about
Mm-hmm.
adaptability.
Mm-hmm.
In Darwin's theory, we know the organism that adapts the easiest, the most, is the one that continuous life.
Yeah.
So we already determined that we don't want women to change. Women do not change. When they change, they are broken. They are called feminists.
Yeah.
Women do not change. What women do is they adapt. They adapt to the needs, the demands, the requirements, the lifestyle of the man. Because a woman does not need to build anything to survive in this world. A woman does not need to work. A woman does not need to create. A woman does not need to do anything outside of what nature gave her. Her ability to carry life. All these responsibilities are a man's responsibilities. All she has to do is adapt to the best man possible. Then her future is secure. So if the traditional man is changing into a modern man, the woman adapts to this new man and the challenges that comes with this man. Remember, a woman can change a man.
Yeah.
A man can change.
Yeah.
A man can change a man. So she is very good at observation. She's looking at the broad spectrum of the life ahead of her. And she's figuring out, how do I adapt to fit in the same rhythm with this ever-changing modern man? And she becomes that. She did not change. She adapted. A woman can fit anywhere. Elon Musk can go to Brooklyn, New York, the ghettos of New York, and pick up a 21-year-old single mother. Her
Yeah.
name is Ashley.
Yeah.
And the expectation is Ashley is going to adapt to the lifestyle of this modern man that would have multiple children every year, both with women and with surrogate mothers. The expectation is that she adapts to that and she knows what her role is. When she fails, we see her for her failure. I'm talking about a real person here, Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because in the modern history, there's no man that has changed more than Elon Musk. 4 failed marriages, married one woman twice, 7 children from the previous marriage, changed the whole game, now started having women for business. I mean, having children for business, and also women for business.
Yeah.
Is able to have 4 children in 1 year with one woman. Right? So
Damn.
when Ashley comes and attaches herself to that man, the expectation of the universe is that she adapts to that man. That is her calling. When she fails to do that, she fails. And she becomes an embarrassment to herself and the man who had prompted her to the level of attempting to adapt with his ever-changing personality. Now, Ashley is a total failure for different reasons. But the smartest woman in the Neuralink technology, the Indian woman from Canada, she squarely adapted to this ever-changing modern man, Elon Musk. Found him with 7 grown children,
Yeah.
found him with a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
found him in the marketplace looking for mothers to carry his babies. And she said, I'll adapt to that. put two in my belly, and in the meantime, let's find a surrogate mother to carry more for me and you with my egg and your sperm. And now I have 5 children in a span of 3 years. She adapted. Ashley failed. When she fails, she reveals now this other thing that is no longer woman. This one here, we don't even know how she sounds. We don't even know how she sounds like. She just made it so easy to adapt to the ever-changing modern man. So when the man moves from traditional, which is where Elon Musk was 20 years ago, and then shifts all the way to a modern man, a complete unique breed of a modern man, the role of the woman is to observe that and adapt to it. Yeah. Don't change a woman.
So, yeah, damn. Okay, so basically, it's just a matter of the man building himself up to the point where woman looks up to him and says, I can adapt to meet his needs.
Exactly.
Damn.
The primary reason me and you are talking is to pass this very simple message to men. Get the information and get your money right. Then you can participate in this marketplace of exchange of values. Your high value man values and her sexual market value values. The only way to do that is you have the information and you have the resources. Then the playground is yours.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
That's it.
You know, the funny thing is, now you've brought this up, it reminds me of a time that I had this friend. I'm going to share this story anyway. Let me just share it with you. So I had this friend, and I say had because unfortunately we had to part ways, and you'll understand why. Let me give you a little bit of background so you have some context here. I think back in 2010, 2011, I still hadn't figured out what I wanted to study, and I was living a very difficult life.
Wait. Is it 2021 or 2011?
2011.
You were in your very early 20s.
Yes, and I finished high school at I think 2008, and from 2008 2009 all the way up to 2012. Actually, 2009 to 2012. Those 3 to 4 years were the hardest years of my life because unfortunately, when I just finished high school, my dad, he got sick and he was completely bedridden. And until when he got sick is when we realized how much we were in shit. Like everything just fell apart in our lives. You know, and I watched one of your videos and you were talking about the man building that, I guess you can say, bubble that encapsulates the family, and the family is not even aware of what the hell is going on outside in the world. And I think that's exactly what my dad had done. You know, during the time he was like in control of everything and he was handling business, we had no idea. Like there was never a day I went to sleep hungry. We thought we were like, you know, well off, you know. He had provided us with this lifestyle that, you know, I was even shocked. And until he got sick and he was bedridden is when we woke up and realized, holy crap, this guy has been fighting battles for us out there and we have no idea what the hell was going on. And then when we had to take things into our own hands.
And he had made it look easy.
Exactly, man. Hey, dude. Hey, man. When I just think back, and I'm just like, wow. But in a way, it's good what I went through because those hardships really changed me. And I look back and I'm like, damn, I learned a lot. So anyway, those are some tough times and I had to handle something. So Back then, before I got into university, before I even decided what I wanted to study, I started working as a satellite technician. Now I don't know if you know what the role entails. Basically, it's someone who goes door to door. I don't know if you remember the glory days of DSTV multi-choice in Kenya.
Yes.
This was before the internet age when people
Yes.
were glued to super sports and all that kind of stuff. I
Hmm.
was your go-to guy. I had a team of like 2, 3 people, and we used to go door to door installing DSTV. Man, I did that for 4 years of my life. Man, it was freaking difficult. But anyway, so I used to do that, and I was like, I want to put myself through school because I looked at other people in my life, and they were going to university immediately after high school. You know, their parents were set. You know, their parents are living in their own houses. They're able to pay for university and all that kind of stuff, and I didn't have that privilege. So I was like, I need to put myself through university at some point. So I can't do that if I don't have money. So I did this job, and while I was doing this job, I was doing a little bit of skateboarding, and I met a few friends. So this is now where this friend comes in. Now this guy was he looked I guess you can say wealthy. You know, from the way someone dresses, the way someone talks, you can just know this person is coming from a well-off background. And he just gave off this impression. Not impression, but he gave off this uh vibe that he was just he had it all basically. You know, we were busy taking public transport, you know, to go and meet at Uhuru Park to go and skate, but he would show up in an Uber, or his brother or someone would come and drop him off or something like that, you know. And he would have the best clothes, the best shoes, and we would skate with him, and we'd be like, damn, man, this guy, like, he's living a good life. And I looked at him and I was like, wow, you know, I want to live the life he's living. He's so
Hmm.
well off, he's doing so good. So I was like, how do I? And he wouldn't really interact with me as much because I'd watch him hang out with, I guess you can say, the rich cool kids. And I was like, how do I insert myself into the equation so that I can somehow interact with him and see, like, what's his life like.
Yeah.
So I tried to find out what his interests were. And at that time, I found out he wanted to make music videos, and he wanted to do music, basically music production. And
Hmm.
at that time, I had no skills on how to create mix, master, create music. Nothing. I had no skill set. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, if I went and studied, or not studied, but I went and taught myself how to mix and master and you know, produce, basically, I can talk to him and tell him maybe we can collaborate on some music together, and we can and if you like what I'm doing, then you can pay me or something, you know. So that was my initial plan, because in my mind I'm just thinking I need to make money, because what I was doing at that time, working as a satellite technician, that shit wasn't paying the bills. And you know, the thing is, if you don't know wealthy clients, you're screwed. You
Hmm.
had to have connections with wealthy clients, especially people who are living in Runda,
Yeah.
all those areas. You know that these
Because
people
of
are well off;
because
they
of
can
the
afford.
element of trust.
Yes, and word of mouth
Yes.
at that time, word of mouth, because
Exactly.
there was no social media. Like, okay, social media was there, but it wasn't as um,
It wasn't
dominant.
used for interconnection.
Yes, it
It
wasn't
wasn't
as dominant.
commercialized. Yes.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
word of mouth. So if you did a good job for your client, they would tell their neighbors and be like, "Oh, you want DSTV? This is the guy. Let me give you his number."
Mhm.
And then I was able to get those connections. But that business model, and this is basically what my dad was doing. That business model was not sustainable, because on those days when you do not have clients, you are screwed. You know, in a month you'll not be able to make a good substantial amount of money, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
hell, man? So I was like, I need a second source of income. So in my mind I was like, if I go down this route of music, and teach myself how to become a producer, how to mix, master, and all that kind of stuff, I build that value in myself, I can insert myself into his frame and we can collaborate together and this guy can pay me. And it actually worked. So now you have to picture this. And 2012 is when I actually joined university. So 2012, I'm studying, I am working. So in the morning, I'd go to university. I'd come back at around 5 p.m. I go and work from 5 to probably like 8, 9 p.m. at night, just going around clients door to door, and sometimes, clients can be a bitch. Like they'd show up and be like, you'd show up and they'd be like, oh, actually we found someone cheaper, so we don't need your services anymore. And I'm like, God damn it. What the fuck? So I'm dealing with all that shit. I'm just trying to paint you a picture of my lifestyle so that when I give you the contrasting lifestyle of his, you'll be able to picture it.
Yeah.
So from, let's say 7, I leave the house at 7, I'm back by 5 p.m. From 5 to 9, I'm working. And then now I have a couple of hours, I can shower, change, and then now I get onto the computer to teach myself how to make music and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this. And then weekends, I meet up with him, we collaborate, and we say, okay, what do you want to create? In his mind at that time, he wanted to create an album. And I said, okay, fine. I did all the legwork of, okay, this is the equipment you need. You need a C1 microphone, you need a mixer, you need, I went and did the research. Like, these are the equipments you need so we can build a home studio. And then after the home studio was set up, when he recorded everything, I'd go with the files back home and edit during the week. So it was like I put myself through all of this just so that at some point this guy would see my value and he'd start paying me. And it actually worked. He started noticing that, damn. Because once his first album was complete, and we managed to sell it across, we even ended up doing gigs. We did shows in Kitengela, we did shows at Safaricom and also at USIU, by the way. And they actually paid us for this stuff, man. It was crazy, it was wild.
Nice.
So things were really going well.
Yeah.
But you see, the point I'm trying to make here is very important, is in order for me to make sense to be in his life, I had to bring something to the table.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, oh man, I will never forget this day. 2013. No, was it 2013? Yeah, end of 2013, early 2014. He called me at night and he tells me that he's going to be a dad.
Wait.
Oh, man.
It's a 22, 23-year-old guy.
Yeah. Yes. No, actually, wait, hang on. We were the same age. Yes. I think he was a year younger than me.
I already did the mental calculation of the age.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, all this time I've been hanging out with this guy. He never mentioned a girl. He never mentioned someone that he was dating. Now, let me give you his lifestyle for the time that I knew him, that time when we used to make music. He had inherited a shit ton of money. Unfortunately, his parents passed away, I think, just after I had finished high school and we met for the first time. That time when we just met was when, unfortunately, his parents passed away. And his parents were in a really good field in government.
Okay.
And they left him a substantial sum of money. Now, he's got 3 siblings, so there are 4 in total. And after the 4-way split, the guy inherits like hundreds of millions. Wow. Yes. Hundreds of millions. And I was like, damn. So his lifestyle basically was this. He wakes up at like maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, plays some video games. He's rented a massive penthouse apartment in Rongai. and he's got his own car, obviously. So it's just video games during the day. He'll order some food, whatever. Then at night he'll go out clubbing, and then like 3 in the morning he'll come back home with like a couple of women, from the club, and that was his lifestyle. And I used to hang out with him on the weekends, and and back then I was like, wow, this is the life I want to have. I was like, wow, this is amazing. That's all you do all day, bro. You just sit there, play video games, you do nothing, you just chilling, hit the clubs, yeah, and you come back home with like a couple of women, and I was just like, damn, that's wild, bro. I can't wait. I can't wait to have a lifestyle like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was his lifestyle. And when he called me that time and told, so all this time I knew him, I never saw him dating one girl, one specific girl. I always saw him with multiple women. So when he told me that he was about to be a dad, in my mind I was like, now what's gonna happen? Like, this guy doesn't give me this impression of being responsible, because he's just constantly gaming and partying and sleeping around. So what's his life going to be like now that he's going to be a dad? And I just, at that time, I didn't know what to say. I just told him congratulations, and let's I'll be there to support you and whatever. So after he gave me that information, I think for 2 years maybe, our progress in the way we used to collaborate and make music completely fizzled out, because now he just started focusing on his child. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. It's just part of life. And the weird thing was, at that point now, towards 2016, now I was starting to get into internship. And I think I told you, like I mentioned before, after that, like after internship, like my life just took a totally different turn, and for the best, and which I was really happy and grateful for, because I've been.
Remind me what you studied at USIU.
Oh yeah, I never actually mentioned that. So it's a bachelor's of science in applied computer technology, and then the concentration is software engineering.
So you are doing placements at where? Safaricom?
No, in fact, I was looking for placements at Safaricom, but I got offers from Deloitte, and then there's another company opposite Deloitte.
No way.
Yeah. I got one from there, and I got one from Craft Silicon, and I got one from.
Yeah.
But bro, the way I'm saying them right now, it's like I had to work my ass off to get those connections, and.
As opposed to what, bro? As opposed to what?
Man, it wasn't easy, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, that's.
Wow. So now you are heavily invested in attachments, and
Yes.
the guy is now a father.
Yeah, the guy is a dad, and so my life completely changed, and I was like, yo, this is finally working out. First of all, I was so happy that immediately after, even before I graduated, I was already going into the field that I'd studied. A lot of people don't have that privilege, and
That's why I asked you that.
Yeah, I felt very sorry for people in my stream that I witnessed did not, venture off into the same thing that they studied with me, and I was like, damn. So anyway, I think after that, I went my way, he went his way, and we didn't talk from 2016 all the way to 2022 when I traveled back to Kenya. I was like, hey, I'm back in Kenya. Let me go and say hi to some old friends. And so I linked up with him, and I said, yo, bro, how have you been? How's everything? I haven't heard from you. One thing I know about this guy is, this is someone who has never done a 9 to 5. You have to understand, he's never done a 9 to 5, right? So for him, having that discipline to wake up in the morning and hustle, isn't really there. So even in the way he communicated with me during those years from 2016 all the way to 2022, it wasn't like I had to put in the effort to reach out to him to even
Yeah.
spark a conversation. And in my
Yeah.
mind, I'm thinking, fine, you have a kid, I understand, but I'm also going through a lot of shit. I'm also working. I'm also, trying to do all these things, but I'm still making time. There was even a time I hosted him on my channel. I told him, like, dude, let's get together and do something together and
Yeah.
collaborate on some more music or something. You know, it just fizzled out. He didn't really make an effort, and I was just like, it's fine, man. So now 2022, I go back, and I've got a live chat here from someone. He's saying, "Don't tell me he blew all the money."
I mean, what else you expect? What
People
else?
people are
What
jumping,
else, bro?
but
What else?
dude, wait. It's even worse than that.
I mean, this is the epitome of good times creates weak men.
Exactly.
His grandfather and his father had made the well.
Yeah.
Now he's been handed that well that he does not know how it was created and how it was managed. What is he going to do? He's going to do the opposite of creating, which is destroy. He's going to do the opposite of management, which is mismanagement. He has no work ethics. He does not have any discipline. He does not have any consistency. He does not have any moral authority on anything. And at 22, 23, he's making a woman pregnant. Okay, now you meet him. His child is
Yeah.
9 years old. I have already calculated that in my head.
Good mathematics, man. Now, the guy meets up with me. This guy does not, at that point, by that time, I felt like I had reached, not even felt, felt is an understatement. I was there. I felt like I've made it now. I've like, dude, by 2022, end of 2022, I already paid off my first house. So
By this time, you have graduated from USIU and you had immediately moved to the UK.
yeah.
And things went sunny side up very quickly for you.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
So I met up with him. I was like, hey, this is an old friend. This is an old friend that I've known for a very long time. And, we had some good moments together. We made some good music together. Let me make the effort to still go out and, meet up with him. So he told me his story. So ever since I moved and left Kenya, he got married. He now got a second child. I think the second child he got him. I can't remember the year, but whatever. He got a second kid, and they bought a house together in Kitengela. He was even telling me, I got a house for like was it 25 or 30 million, and he got 2 cars. And I was like, damn, that's amazing. I'm really happy for you, bro. That's good. I'm happy that you've moved out of the city and you're doing your own thing and, you're starting your family and everything's working. I'm good. Then all of a sudden, in comes the U-turn. So he told me, my wife, she, at that time, she was getting a bit bored just staying at home. So I opened a liquor store for her to manage. And I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. So she managed it for 3 months. So wait, so I was like, wait, hang on. You opened the store for her. So what were you doing? Because I asked him straight up, like, so what were you doing? It's like, nah, I've just been a bit stressed out. Things are just not, I just didn't really have the energy. So, and she wanted to do something. So I was like, okay, fine. So she managed it for 3 months. And then she told him that there weren't enough customers. So what they end up doing was bring all the liquor back home. So that's the first part. I was like,
Can I go away for the next of this segment and come back when that segment is over?
I'm not gonna go into too many details. I'm not gonna go into too.
Holy moly! Let's bring the stock home.
Let's bring the stock home.
And it sounds such a good idea coming from a woman.
And you know what? You know what the sad reality is? Fuck. Should I even? Let me just say it. He has a brother and he has two sisters. Both his sisters are older than him. His brother is younger than him. I had the privilege of meeting his brother, who was also, of course, a beneficiary to a lot of wealth. And unfortunately, it's sad to say that he passed away at the age of 21. He was studying at USIU with me. He passed away at 21. I think that was back in, I can't remember the exact year. And the reason he passed away was alcohol.
So these are not Indian Pakistani people.
No.
They are native Africans.
Native Africans, yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I don't fuck with Indians, man. Indians, fuck these guys, man. They're racist motherfuckers, man. But that's a story for another day. Indians, we hate each other. Anyway, we'll that's a story for another day, bro. Anyway. So, you know, I thought that if he looked at his brother, he would realize that alcohol and all of this is bad and I need to stay away from this. There was a time before I left for the UK, I tried to tell him, like, why don't you see a therapist? Because even at that time he was drinking a lot. And I told him, dude, why don't you, see a therapist or something? And this is the reason why I have never drunk. I have never touched alcohol ever in my life. And I tell people this and they're like, what? You haven't tried it? I was like, dude, from the things that I've seen, and not only just friends, but my own relatives, what I've seen them do and what alcohol has done to them, I'm like, nah.
You know, that is exactly the same reason Donald Trump gives for not drinking. Because of watching his brother getting destroyed by alcohol. And when he gives that story, you can sense the sadness and the reality check in his voice.
Yeah. I really tried to help him. I really did. Even before he got, his son and all that, I really tried to talk to him. Like, there were days I would see him in such a bad state, and I tried to tell him, like, dude. And in my mind, and I was still obviously dealing with my own problems, but I thought when he had his son and he was now with this woman, I thought maybe things would be a bit different. Maybe he will stop focusing on drinking and maybe spend some time with his son and with his wife, and maybe his mindset would change. Anyway, so 2022, I meet him and he tells me the story. So I'm not going to go into the details of the alcohol part, but then he tells me his sister has a gambling problem.
Oh, gosh.
And his sister had access to his account and spent 50 million Kenya shillings. Bro, I have, maybe, I think, not even at that time, like even when I was in uni, even with like 10 shillings in my M-Pesa account, I wouldn't give access to my sister with 10 shillings in my M-Pesa. In my mind, I was just like, dude, why would your sister have access to your account? Like, that story doesn't make sense to me. Like, make that make sense. She inherited her share. What did she do with her share? And then she needs.
So 3 of the 4 kids that we know of so far are squarely deep in the curse of the blacks.
I'm not too sure about the oldest. The
Yeah,
oldest
that's what,
sister, the first sister, I don't know about her. In fact,
in my mind, I was going to be, oh, the sisters are older. They are going to attach themselves with better men, and they
Yeah.
are going to make something out of themselves.
Yes.
And now we have eliminated one from the equation.
Yeah. Hey, let me read some live chats here, man. Let me just quickly read the live chats as we pause for intermission. Evanol, what? Evanol, get out of here, bro. Get out. What the hell? 50 mic on gambling. Yeah. 50 million on gambling is basically the story that he told me, that his sister basically did the gambling.
Okay.
So now
Let's go back to they bring the alcohol home because the liquor store failed. What is the story there?
in a nutshell, both of them drank it all. They did not sell it. Yeah. They opened a store, a freaking store, filled it, and then they brought it, because it wasn't selling, they brought it all back home, and it was done within a couple of months.
Was it milk or alcohol?
It was alcohol. I saw pictures on Instagram.
Did you double check? Maybe it was milk. They were afraid it was going to go bad.
Dude, no.
You know, milk go bad. Milk has a shelf life.
Yeah. Yeah.
The curse of the blacks.
I was like, wow, what the French toast is going on over here, man?
He married a version of himself.
Shit.
All right.
Anyway, now that's not even the worst part of the story, bro.
Uh-oh.
Now he's lost 50 million. Yeah. So he's moved out of his house. So he bought a 4-bedroom mansion, basically like a townhouse in Kitengela. He moved out of that house into a smaller apartment and put the house on rent. And now that's where they're living and trying to make ends meet. And this is now the hardest part for me to listen. This is the hardest part for me to hear. When he told me, and these are his words, I'm going to paraphrase his words. Bro, you know that time when we were like really good friends and we used to like make music together? Remember those times I used to help you out with money? You know, I gave you money for, you know, your groceries, and like there were times I even like I paid you like I don't know 10,000-20,000 Kenyan shillings. I was like, yes. He was like, oh, you know, I was telling my wife about it, and my wife told me that, you know, since, you know, back then I really helped you out, I think you should return the favor, and that I want you to help me out with 100,000 Kenyan shillings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It took him less than 10 years to squander hundreds of millions of Kenya shillings. Yeah. Less than 10 years.
Yeah.
Now he needs 100K urgently.
100K urgently.
Yeah. Mr. Aziad, send me 100K urgently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nibibi ameniambia is a very good idea. I ran it with my wife.
And I was just like,
Miss Aziad.
I was like, you know, I was just remembering the times back then when I was making maybe in a month, maybe 5,000, 10,000 Kenya shillings doing satellite installations, man, trying to freaking hustle hard my ass off. Now, yes, 100,000 is not that big of a deal, but how many years has it taken me to get to this level? And every cent that I have earned, I appreciate because I know how I've suffered to make this money. And now I just give it to you. And the other question is, even if I did, yes, fine, even if I did help him out, would he really appreciate that money? Would he even use it wisely? Or like, because in my mind I'm thinking, you as a man, you'd have to go through some tough times to learn your lesson and be like, oh shit, I've learned my lesson. I need to wake the fuck up and grow up and do something about my life. Because if I when I was in my going through my problems and I just sat there and I says, put my hand out and say, oh, please help me, please help, will I ever learn a lesson to grow the fuck up? So I was trying to put myself in his shoes. So I did one test. I was like, okay, because I really felt guilty, and exactly this is the comment that Daniel has just posted here. He is trying to guilt trip me. Yes, I felt guilty, and I was almost thinking of giving him the 100K because he's my old friend. And remember that time I texted you and I told you, yes, you have climbed up, you have elevated yourself, but the people around you that have not also climbed or elevated themselves as well, it's easier for them to pull you down than for you to lift them up.
If you find yourself, after you have built yourself up, going back to old friends who do not share your values, who do not share your vision of growth and discipline and consistency, and you go back to those friends, what you are telling the universe is the universe entrusted the wrong person, because you don't know what to do with that growth. And what did I tell you 10 days ago?
There was a text that you sent me. Let me see if I can read it. It was a very nice, there was something that you said. Let me see if I can read it here. 1 second. People are not yours to save. Easiest way to make enemies is to keep old friends.
That's it.
Damn, man. That
People
thing just...
are not yours to save.
Yeah.
If you go up here and you start going back to the people back there, then you are telling the universe, the universe made a mistake. You are the wrong person for this.
Hey. No,
what was the point of you going from here to here?
Yeah.
If you're still going to go back
down, yeah.
Then you are telling the universe, you should have given this opportunity to this other person here. The easiest way to make enemies is to reconnect with old friends. Gift Canada. You know the guy we call Gift Canada?
Gift Canada. The thing is, I'm not that
Gift. Yeah, you're not very good with
social media and stuff. Yeah.
This guy is in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
We were in Kenya with him in November of 2023. He went to Mombasa to reconnect with his old friends. They poisoned him.
Damn.
They poisoned him. If the universe entrusts you with progress all the way up here, and then you are telling the universe, oh, by the way, I left some people down here. The universe is like, okay, so we made a mistake.
You don't like being up here.
It should have been them going up there and not you. Is that what you are telling us? So the universe will find a way to fuck you up. You will think you are the one fucking yourself up. But the universe is like, okay, that's the energy you are giving us. Let's bounce that energy back to you.
Damn.
Gift got poisoned by his childhood friends. I think I'm the luckiest human being alive because my childhood friends avoid me. I don't have to deal with that.
Oh.
They're like, Simpson to my tour.
Yeah. Damn. I was really thinking a lot about this, man. And you're absolutely right, man. When you elevate yourself in life, you need to surround yourself with people who are also at that level or higher.
Because life is about vibration. Levels are created by vibrations.
Mm.
So you attach yourself to the highest level of vibration of the provision of the universe. And then you're going to go to the lowest of the rhythm. What is that going to do
Yeah.
with the flow of your life?
Yeah.
It's a glitch. If you open the engine of a motor vehicle and there is that belt running at 6,000 revolutions per minute, and you put a wrench in there, what is it going to do to the wrench? What is it going to do to the engine?
It's gonna wreck everything.
And if you're in the face view of it, that wrench is gonna hit you in the face.
Yeah.
That's the response you get from the universe for trying to slow down this momentum that the universe has entrusted you with by reconnecting with losers.
Okay.
I did not slip in there and use the word loser. So let me re-emphasize it. When you try to reconnect with losers, it hits you in the face because you're interrupting the momentum of life. Do you know better than the universe that you now, after being saved, you should be the one saving? You don't think the universe knows that they exist and has not saved them for a reason? You know, there's something else I also say, and I have learned this from bad experiences. Back in the day when the social media was standard newspaper.co.ku.ke and nationnewspaper.ko.ke. Those are our connections with the African world. And I found a mother who had been interviewed by the Nation newspaper looking for medical help for her son who was born with cleft-lipped deformity.
Yeah.
And I stepped in there and I helped her. And the Operation Smile could not operate on her, on the boy, because his case was so severe. So I organized for her to go to Nyeri when there was this German specialized doctor was coming to operate on the boy. Everything went well.
Yeah.
And then I went there and said, okay, tell me about your family. Oh, my brother had been invited into Naivasha High School. It's a prestigious school, but he was chased away because of school fees. I paid the school fees for the boy. Put him back in.
You paid the school fees.
What about your little sister? Oh, my sister was in this school and there was no school fees.
Yeah.
And so they chased her out of school. Okay, let's put her back in school. We go back to the school and they say, no, she has wasted so much time. She would have to repeat. She had to go back one grade. And I'm like, no, there's no need for that. I'm going to look for a different school. And I look for a different school and I put her there. And why are these problems happening? What is happening with your father? Oh, my father has a big lorry and he has a T-bar business.
Yeah.
But things have been going bad for him. Oh, I'm in the market for T-bar. Connect me with your father. Connect with the father. He's a Mocorino with a turban. And I'm like, okay, so you are in the T-bar business. So I'm going to revive your business by becoming your customer. I need this many feet of T-bar. At the time, I had a project of my village home. My village house.
Yeah.
158,000 in 2011.
What?
So I paid him. I sent him half of that money, 78K.
What?
He disappeared.
Wait. Shit.
After getting his grandson get a complicated operation on his face. After getting his son back to Naivasha High. After getting his daughter back to some school in Kipipiri.
Yeah.
After offering to revive his business by becoming his customer, he disappeared with the money. And my lesson from that is, don't interfere when God is dealing with the person he's dealing with.
Yeah.
whatever was going on here is between him and his God. The moment I interfered, whiplash.
Damn.
Whiplash. The moment I interfered, it's like you holding a wrench and putting it in the belt system of a motor vehicle engine.
This reminds me of a
You're gonna get
saying.
smacked in the face.
This reminds me of a saying. I don't know where I heard it, but don't interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake or something like that along those lines.
In my people's language, they say, "Dukanyitire gai moro." Do not try to assist God when he is busy dealing with somebody else. It's not your place.
Yeah.
Walk away. I should have helped the little kid get the special surgery and walked away.
Yeah. Man. Oh, crazy, man. Crazy world. Crazy world we're living in, man. Interesting.
My roof installed with the expectation that, I mean, he did not just disappear. He kept me in this perpetual lies, the Kenyan style talk.
Yeah, yeah.
Leo kumenyesha, hatujaingia kwa msitu. Nilienda huko, lori imekwama. Daraja imebebwa na mto. So I asked him, okay, so all these things are going to happen. So you are going to run out of excuses. Barabara imefungwa, Kibaki alikuwa anapita. So yote, you come up with all the reasons. When you run out of the reason, what is the truth? Unajua nilikuwa na shida, kulikuwa na mtu mwingine nilikuwa nimeomba pesa na alikuwa ananisumbua, nilichukua hiyo pesa nikalipa hiyo deni kwanza. Do not. It is not your place. It is not your place. It is not your place. Do not interfere with God when he is dealing with people. You know, in the African Bible, it says that God will avenge the wrongs of the people who cross him from the up to the third and the fourth generation. So I don't know what the great father had done with his God. And now me, in my innocence, 4 generations later, I'm coming here, let me fix that. No, God is still dealing with them.
Yeah.
Kakando. Kakando. Take a sip and watching Kwatego.
There's one counter argument that people always use when you tell them, "Oh, I cannot help you." They always say, "But remember those tough times? We were there with you when you had nothing." I've had friends who have told me,
you were made for those tough times. now here is the counter. Here is the counter. At the time, you are the one with the resources to help me in my tough time.
Yeah.
Now I am the one with the resources to pay it forward, not backwards. Not backwards.
Yeah.
How can you, the one who had, not have any more? If you had the formula, what happened to the formula? Why should we be helping the one who used to help? No. Forward. Forward. I learned from you how to help. So now I'm helping somebody else. Not coming back here. And that's the guilt that the African parents use on children. Instead of setting them free to flourish, they want to cash in on these black tax. So they never progress.
Oh, damn.
Remember, there was a social experiment about the coffee? Here we are now.
I'm just having some soda, man.
There is no going backwards. It's always
moving forward, man.
Pay it forward.
Absolutely, bro. Damn. Hey, cannot argue with that. For sure, man, for sure. Ah, yeah, that was basically
So
it, man.
did you dole out the 100K? Were you guilted enough?
No, no, so check this out. I did a very nice experiment with him, right? I knew this guy is lazy as hell. So I told him, "Are you looking for a job or anything like that? I can hook you up." This
Mm.
guy, for all these years that I've known him, couldn't even remember what I studied, couldn't even remember what I do for a living. Like, what kind of a friend was this? Anyway, so I told him, look, why don't you write up a CV, right? Make a CV. If you're applying for a job, give me your CV. I mean, a CV basically is a resume that's like what? For him, it would probably just be one page because he's not really got that much experience. I told him, just sit down, type up a CV, one page, send it across to me, and I will hook you up. That was a test that I gave him because I knew he would fail this test. And guess what? That was back in 2022. To date, I haven't received that CV.
13 years later.
Yeah.
The easiest way to make enemies is to reconnect with old friends.
Damn, man.
Do not do it. It's against the universe, it's against the social order of things. It does not work like that. It's unnatural.
But it's that feeling like, you want to rekindle those memories that you had with this person. But of
Yeah.
course, that comes to emotions.
Mental illness.
Mm.
Mental illness. What is going on in your life currently that wants you to connect with your past? How bad is the present that the past looks favorable? In the Bible, there is a verse that says, "Do not say good old days." That is foolish talk. In the Bible. In the Bible. I can look it up. Ecclesiastes 7, verse 10. Do not say, why were the old days better than this? For it is not wise to ask such questions.
Mm.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 10. What is going on in your current life that the past should look favorable? It means that you have not developed, you have not built, you have not grown. Something is wrong with your system, and you should be taken out of it because now you are rich.
Right. Damn. Damn, 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 damn.
So you haven't heard from him for 13 years.
From 2022 to now, that's what, 3 years. Haven't heard from him from that time then. Because that was the last time I talked to him. It was 2022.
Oh, 2022,
Yes.
2022, not
2020.
2012.
Yeah.
Yeah,
2022
2022.
is, yeah.
Yeah,
2022 was when now we rekindled.
yeah.
And I think obviously, like I've learned now, that was a
So
mistake.
what was going on 10 days ago that you were struggling with those old friendships when you
Ah,
reached out
good.
to me?
So 10 days ago wasn't him. It was an old workmate that I had worked with. I think back in which year was it? 2018, 2019, probably. Yeah, I had worked with him. I worked at that company for I think a year, and we were good friends. But we exchanged contacts. You know how it is. You exchange contacts. You don't really talk as much. But recently, that time he reached out to me and he asked me for 60,000 Kenya shillings.
Mr. Aziad, 60,000 urgent flame.
Oh man. So that's when it really got me into that thinking of like, we both had the same opportunities, man. We were both presented with the same opportunities. I'm here, you're there. I'm not looking down on you. I'm just doing my own, I'm staying in my own lane. I'm just doing my own thing. And even if I did help you, would it really help you be a better person, grow? That's when I sent you the voice note. I was like, it really, provoked some thoughts in my mind, and yeah, it just makes sense, man.
You know, my mind is telling me not to say it, and my mouth is telling me to say it.
Just say it, man.
even with family. Family will come and ask you for money.
Dude, we should have a separate call for family, because if I go into family, we'll be here for like 3 hours.
I figured out the best formula to deal with family.
Mm-hmm. How do you deal with family?
And I'm not advising you to do that.
Of course.
So if you have not dealt with family when it comes to money issues, if you are a virgin in that department, try this.
Mm-hmm.
They ask for money the first time, give them. Because they always say they are going to repay.
Mm-hmm.
They don't repay. 100% of the time, they are not going to repay. You should know that before you give them the money. You should know that the moment they mention money in a sentence, they are not going to pay back. So give them. This is not my advice. This is not your advice. This is for a virgin who has never dealt with family. Give them. 100% of the time, they are not going to pay. They are going to come up with all the excuses of how things went bad and the universe turned upside down. Everything. Say, okay. 100% of the time, they are going to come back for more money. This is the lesson. Give them.
Okay, I have now. This has also provoked another question in my mind.
Wait.
Okay.
They come a second time.
Mm-hmm.
They have not paid the first time.
Mm.
Give them. Tell them. The loan number one, you don't have to repay it. And this one here, you don't have to repay it. And then invoke a George in you. Because I know you don't have the balls to say it yourself. So I'll give you a sentence. And George told me to tell you, I will never have money conversations with you ever again. But you can keep both money. The previous one and this one I'm giving you. But money conversations end here. Tell them George is the one who said it because you don't have the balls to say it yourself. Tell them, I heard this from George.
Mm.
Now, you have completely shut down that avenue. Now, children, I'm privileged to have adult children now. Children are different. So they'll come to you for money for a project.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I do, what I have done. So child number one tells me, hey, Dad, there is this idea that I need, and it can work if you loan me 100,000. I'm talking about real life.
Okay.
So I tell child number one, it sounds like a very good idea. I think it's going to work. Find the 100,000 on your own. When you have it, I'll give you an extra 300,000. That's how valuable that idea is. But find the 100,000 on your own.
Yeah.
And I'll give you 3 100,000. That will accelerate the turnover time and reduce it by half to achieve the rate of success in the shortest time possible. That's how good that idea is. But find the seed money yourself. Find the 100,000 and I'll give you 300,000.
Yeah, that will really motivate the person, and yeah, I get that. That makes
now
sense.
It's not my project. It's your project. You wanted to dump the whole project on me. No.
Yeah.
I am not in the business of that project. This is your project. Bring it to life. Add effects using hand gestures. No, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So you don't accommodate other people's ideas. You see value in them and you communicate that value back to them. You empower that idea and you remove this perception in their mind that you can buy the idea because you are the idea guy. No. And re-emphasize how important the idea they came up with is. Validate that idea, but keep it on this side of the fence. That's how rich people make their kids work for their own money. And I have had so many conversations. I was talking to a woman the other day, a billionaire. She has adult sons, and the daughter now is an adult. She just graduated. And she was telling me one of the sons got into venture capital and he made a lot of money. And he was telling me this is not good because he made the money during the lockdown when the rate of success was so high for people with capital.
Yeah.
And he told me, George, he needs to fail. He needs to fail. He has no idea what failure looks like. He needs to fail.
What?
It is not natural for somebody to make tens of millions in 3-4 years without ever going through hardship.
Yeah.
If he gets this winning streak for the next 3 years, it's going to get in his head. And he's going to go to the next stage of his growth without the lessons of life. He needs to fail. And she told me, I can't wait to see him after he has failed. The reality check. These people are worth close to $10 billion. But they are not going to cut corners dealing with their children because they don't want to produce your friend, the one who was given hundreds of millions at age 21, 22.
Yeah.
They know better than to produce that product.
Damn.
So she's like, I'm crossing my fingers. I want this boy to fail so bad. He needs to fail. He needs it. And I was like, oh.
Damn. When you mentioned this, I look back at those hardships I went through and the people that told me, no, I can't help you, and all that kind of stuff. I thank them. I thank them because it has made me the man that I am today. As much as at that time, the way I hate, there were days I even wanted to do like live streams and just curse these people and argue with them then and say no. But I look back at and I'm like, thank you for throwing me down there into the dirt because
Yes.
I was a spoiled kid. I was a
Yes.
spoiled, successful kid.
Yes.
Damn.
and nature dealt you a blow when right after high school your father got sick and everything started,
Bro,
crumbling down around you.
the converse, yeah,
You had to manner very quickly,
yeah.
very quickly.
Remember that time when I told you we were encapsulated in that bubble, and then
Yeah.
when that bubble burst, and when we interfaced with people, and we saw their true colors, that's when I woke up. I was like, damn, this is the world. But at that time, I didn't know that the world was teaching me a lesson.
Yeah.
I was just angry at everyone. I started hating people.
And that anger and that hatred is just projection. You are resisting to work on yourself and you are looking for people to apportion blame. Now imagine not knowing that and interacting with those people on X at that stage of anger and projection. And they make you believe that there's something wrong with you. That's why they agree. No, no. Even like 18. Go deal with your problems.
Yeah.
Go deal with your problems. I am not your problem. Yeah. Can you give me 3 minutes? Interact with the people of the comment section for
Oh
a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, absolutely.
Give me a short break. I need some cold water.
All right, cool. No worries, man. Man, today's session. Whew. Let's see the live chats. Let's see the live chats here. Evanol, thank you so much for checking out the channel, bro. I really do appreciate it. Who else is here? Daniel, dude, I think you're a regular now. Hey, dude, I didn't even do the sound effects, man. I was supposed to do the sound effects for the Watoto. Get the goddamn kids out of here, man. Let me just test the whips. The whips will work. Beautiful, man. These whips. Oh, man, shit. Man, the conversation today is one for the ages. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. Yes, absolutely, man. Bonface, thank you for checking out the channel. Big up. IQ, always a blast. Yes, absolutely, man. Always, 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 man. This is just the beginning. You know, he was just telling me about like we are unlimited, man. There's nothing stopping us from creating content, even daily, man. I was even thinking of doing this show freaking daily, man. Just go daily, man. I just need to get my stuff in order and probably even be doing these shows daily, man, and just interacting with you guys, man. Build up this freaking community, man. I feel like my subscribers have now properly set in, you know? I think now that I've interacted with IQ, yeah, and talking to more men, going into more men's spaces, I feel like my content and the people I'm even interacting with now are just blowing up, man. So I really do appreciate it. Daniel, lessons for the Kinuthias. Yes, indeed. Oh man. All right, welcome back, IQ.
So did I hear you mention gift there?
So currently on the live chats we've got Daniel, we've got Evanol, we've got who else is here? Daniel and Evanol.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I had gift there. That's the Canadian guy that got poisoned by his friends in Mombasa.
Oh, nice. Oh, this is amazing,
So
man.
where are we?
So we were just basically talking about the universe and the lessons that we have learned from the universe, man.
Don't keep old friends. And now you will notice if you are that old friend, you know you want to lynch on that guy that left. Yeah. You know your position.
Yeah.
People meet at the top. If there is a friendship to be continued, it's because you went your way, they went their way, then you met at the top. Not back here. Not back here. At the top. And you're building together now.
Damn. Hey, that is true, man. That is freaking true, man. Hey. Man, that was quite a session, man. So
All
those
right.
yeah,
So
those were the two things I wanted to share this story so that we could have talked about this, and then the other thing was the woman cannot change. I don't have any other the other thing I wanted to talk about, but I felt like I think that was a bit too crazy. I don't think we can leave that for another.
oh no, I'm going to go there. I'm going to
You're
go
gonna go
there. I'm going to go there. I know the story.
okay.
I'm going to look it up.
There was
Guys,
there was that.
let me tell you what this guy is not trying to tell us. This guy right here, he met a woman when she was 19. She was in school studying to become a teacher.
Yeah.
You told her to drop her studies.
Yes.
So that you can marry her.
Yeah.
And make a family together.
Yes.
She turned it down and she said she wants to focus on her studies.
Yeah.
And then she said, but one day. Now continue from there. Apana epuka.
So, when she told me that, I just want to focus on my studies. I don't want to. I can't really do this whole relationship.
Let's put some foundation and context here. What year is this?
That's a good question. Hey, this was when I was pretty young. When was this? 1 second. I had just it was probably even before uni. 2015.
2015, you are 24, 25 years old.
Yes. Yes. She's 19.
Yeah.
And I liked her, she was really cute and everything. So I told her, look, you are studying whatever. And at that time I was okay, I was just getting into my studies and everything, but I felt like I have a good career going. Like if I just focus on my studies and I just get out of uni, I can make it for myself. So so me, I was like, why don't you just drop your studies and why don't we just have start a family and and all that kind of stuff. And why do you need to study? Like, she wanted to be a teacher basically. And I was like, why do you want to do this? Why don't you just, because in my mind I was like, if she goes to university, that's basically it. She's probably going to hook up with a lot of guys. So like, let me just try and see if I can try and get in there. And she told me no.
Captain save a potential hole.
So at that point I was just like, okay, so is it a yes or no? And she told me no, I want to focus on my studies and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm not going to force you. If you don't want to do that, it's all good. I have my own shit to deal with. I'm just going to focus on myself as well. And then we closed the case. That was back in 2015, 2016. Closed the case.
Almost 10 years ago. I'm putting the timestamp here.
Oh, man. I think, first off, I don't know why I keep these contacts on my phone. I should just freaking delete. But anyway, let me just carry on. This was recent, and I sent you a screenshot. I think the date timestamp there on the screenshot. I don't know if it was there, but whatever. This was recent, bro. And I'm just reading this message in complete shock.
No, there was no date. There was just time.
Oh,
it was a continuation of a message. Yeah.
I'm just going to read this message word for word. Let me open it 1 second. Let me open it. I'm completely shocked. When I read this message, I was like, what the bloody hell? There's no freaking way. This is what she's saying. So in case I don't find someone in the future, or in case I decide to stay alone, maybe you can give me a kid and don't worry about the responsibilities. I will take care of them all. I know by that time I will be working. I don't know how you will take it, but I would love that.
How old is that message?
Oh, I was reading from the screenshot. 1 second. That was sent to me on, what day is it today? Thursday. Thursday this week.
I'll tell you, but because I know you don't know.
How old is how old?
I'll tell you because I know you don't know. She's 29 now. I was putting the timestamp for a reason.
God
She
damn
was
it, man.
19 in 2015. She's 29 in 2025. 10 years in a woman's life is your 30 years. The things she has seen, the things she has gone through. Now, with that in mind, read the message one more time.
Okay, let's read it again. Oh,
She is
man.
29.
29.
So I want you to understand when she says if, as if she's talking about the future, I want you to understand she is now there. She is now in the present. She wants you to believe that this message was written 10 years ago when she was 19. That's why I asked you about the timestamp. She wrote that message when she is 29, pretending to be 19. She is appealing. Well, let me change that. She is throwing to you the 19-year-old version of her at 29. She wants you to see her the way you saw her when you suggested that you wanted to make a family with her at age 19.
Damn.
The reason she's putting it in the future is to confuse you, to still see her as a 19-year-old.
God damn it, man. I mean, I'm done, man. I need to switch off my WhatsApp.
She is wanting you to see her the way you saw her when you had a proposal. Because now, 10 years later, after going through the universe 17 times, she wants that because nobody else has offered that. She's not going to come to you and tell you that. She's going to talk to you as if she's talking to the future. If I don't get somebody in the future, she is now in the future. She have seen it all. But women are good at that. They know how to repackage themselves as still something valuable. The same woman, the same way the woman from USIU, after rejecting you in high school, in college, after getting married, after getting divorced, she still came back to you and repackaged herself the same way you saw her at university. She wants you to imagine she is that girl.
Yeah.
Same thing here. By the way, that is episode 6, the one I'm referring to.
Yes, episode 6.
Episode 6 of Ask IQ. That girl.
Man.
Now, The woman on the voice note, a different woman, the one with the tattoo at her breast, she had come to package herself to see you the way she was before she put on the tattoo. That's why she was telling you, I have even asked how much it is to remove it. And they told us they are going to do such a good job. No one is even going to tell the tattoo was there. She's selling you the version of her
Without.
before the mistake.
Damn.
So this woman is telling you. So, in case I don't find someone in future, she's there now.
Yeah.
The future she's talking about is the 19-year-old's future. Today, at 29, 10 years later. But she's not going to tell you that, Kenodia.
Where are my whips?
In case I don't find someone in future, or in case I decide to stay alone, maybe you can give me a kid. And don't worry about responsibilities.
Yeah.
I will take care of them all. Watch the next sentence. I know by that time I will be working. Here is the question to that statement. At 19, she was going to teachers' college.
Yeah.
10 years later, why is she still talking about herself
Yeah.
as somebody who will be working?
Yeah.
Her socioeconomic status have not changed in 10 years.
Exactly.
That's how much she has adapted the character of an 18-year-old. The whole three sentences have to be in tandem with each other because she's appealing. She wants you to appeal to the 19-year-old. So even her job is not yet happened.
Yeah.
The 10 years are completely erased and the job experiences that are in it. That's why she's saying, by that time, I'll have a job. She's 19, 10 years later, still talking like a 19-year-old because she wants you to see the 19-year-old. And then she says what? Where is my... Here we go. I don't know how you take that, but I would love that.
I would love that. Yeah.
Captain Silverhole. I would love that. Do that for me.
You know, the thing that shocked me the most is the fact that now she wants to have a kid and she doesn't even want me in the picture. Oh man.
That is what she's telling you, but that's not what she's communicating.
So you mean she'll want me in the picture? Or it will trap me?
Genovia.
I'm not following that then. Maybe I'm not got it.
It does not matter where she is in the world. The government is always on her side when she has a child. The government is going to look for you to do the things that she says she's not going to burden you with. She knows that.
Yeah. Shit.
You are the most high value man she has access to. And I think I need to change that sentence in a different language because I don't think young men understand what I say when I say she has access to, not the men that have access to her. It's the men she has access to. The men who have access to her have come and gone. The one she needs is the one she has access to. This is across the board, all women. So you are now the man she has access to 10 years later.
Yeah.
So many things have gone wrong in her life
Yeah.
for her to be here, reviving a 10-year-old relationship
Yeah.
from when she was a teenager. She still remembers that offer. When she was at the height of her sexual market value, she turned you down. Now you are the height of your high value man self. Now she wants that transaction, but she does not have the product. She does not have the currency. But she's not going to tell you that, Kenodia. If she can get into your head by making you believe that you're talking to a 19-year-old 10 years later, then you're going to fall for the 19-year-old that you wanted.
Damn.
They all know that. And the whole reason you and I are talking, and the whole reason we are talking to young men, is to give them the information. That's it. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's it. There's nothing else. Just the information. Now that you know that, now you know how to engage with a woman. Don't go there try to change a woman. A woman is not going to change. A woman is adapting. This particular one here is adapting to a 10-year older version of you that she had rejected. And she's making it look so easy.
Oh, man.
You did not want this story because you responded positively. What did you respond to?
Wait, what?
Because she told you there she would love that. Captain Severho, strapped, ready for duty. What did you respond, Kenodia?
You're gonna put me on the spot.
You see?
You're
You
right.
see?
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
You
right.
see?
You're right. You're right. But
You see?
we're still weak, man. We're still weak. We are still
You
weak,
see?
man.
You see? I know it.
Damn.
29-year-old woman, bro. 29-year-old woman. 29-year-old woman. And she has succeeded in getting in your head and making you believe she is 19. The one you wanted is still here. The one on the voice note has changed. It's still not true. It's just not that too. When we met, you asked me if I have children, and I said I don't. If you had asked me about that too, I would have told you I don't. I haven't. And that never came up. That never came. It's not fair. Aki, honey. I've even told my mom about us. My mom keeping asking me, "How is your person? Do this for mom." You know, if I was going to edit the video, I would actually put that voice note there. It would match word by word of what I just said.
Remember when I told you from the beginning of this live stream that some women have unsubscribed from my channel? Let me not say too much now.
That was her. Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's a crazy world we're living in, man.
That is her who told you that George guy is poisoning you.
That's the same one. George is poisoning what he's getting into your head. He's telling you these things. I wish I could have taken a screenshot of whatever or forwarded you that voice note that she had sent me.
This is the 19 to 29-year-old.
No, the one with the tattoo is a different one. The 19 to 21 is a different.
No way.
Yeah, dude, I've told you I've been, and I think ever since after 30, 31, like the interactions I've been having with women and the things that a 34-year-old proposed to me, 31-year-old was the high school one, then there's the 19 to I have multiple experiences, bro. And I'm just like, what the fuck? How is this happening now? But it all makes sense. It makes so much sense. Now they're running back. Oh, please take me back.
Bro, what is it about you?
I don't know, man.
Women reject you in college.
Yes.
They go out there, get married, move to a whole different
Yeah.
country, adapt a whole new religion, get divorced,
Yeah.
come back and look for you.
Yeah.
How big is this mark of the beast on your forehead?
I think I have like a sticker on my forehead saying, I'm available. Look at
The
me.
North there of the
Yeah.
century.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I also have to blame myself. I'm a very agreeable person, and I need to change that. Agreeable and also not agreeable, but also easily swayed. Not only just by women, but also by men, but mostly women. And I need to change that.
You need to fix your frame.
Yeah, I do. That's why the fuck we're here, man. Huh? Man. You know, I'll end this session with one thing. I wish when I was growing up, maybe 18 to let's say 25, I had a proper male figure there to like properly guide me, man, navigate this world. You know, my dad did as much as he could, all the way until 18. But it was after 18 is when I started interacting more and more with women and understanding like their nature and stuff. But I still couldn't get that information that I needed it the most at that time, you know? So I'm just, like you said, I'm playing catch up right now, man. I'm just playing catch up right now. I'm just trying to, the syllabus has gone so far and I'm just trying to catch up. And it makes sense because I've experienced it.
You have just described 100% of all men. 100%.
But you know, I know.
There is no exception to the rule. Everybody feels insufficient, which is why this information is important.
Yeah.
If we have one word for what we are doing here, it's just information. That's why I have to go to these prerequisites of eliminating the idea that you can change a woman, the idea that there is an evil woman, that there is a wicked woman, that women are bad. No, we have to completely eliminate those things first. There's no evil woman, there's no wicked woman. You cannot change a woman.
Yeah.
The only thing you need is information on how to interact with a woman. I was giving an analogy the other day, I can't remember with who. And I was telling them, if I go to one of the FBOs, the private airports, and there is a helicopter parked there, that helicopter is ready to fly. That's its essence, to fly in the air.
Yeah.
If I get in there and strap myself on the pilot seat and attempt to fly it, two things are going to happen. I'm going to destroy the aircraft, and I'm going to put myself in danger. Both of us are going to be destroyed. The helicopter was ready to fly with the right person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who discloses, I don't know how to fly a helicopter. So if I go there to try to fly a helicopter, I'm now putting myself in danger and I'm potentially putting the helicopter in the danger of being destroyed.
Yeah.
Now replace the helicopter with a woman. And replace me with every man trying to interact with a woman without the information.
Yeah, man.
The woman is ready to fly.
Yeah.
There's nothing you need to do to the woman when you see them packed at the helipad. They are ready to go.
Yeah.
But you don't have the information on how to deal with a woman. So now you're going to destroy that woman that was ready.
Mm.
She's not yours to fly because you don't know how to fly. The right person with the right information, they're going to soar in the air.
Yeah, man.
But not you. And you need to know your limitations.
Mm.
Go get the training first. Go get the experience first. Go get the practice first.
Yeah.
That's why it's important for boys at the age of 12, 13, 14 to be in a controlled environment in high school with girls so that they can have the practice. It used to work so well, so naturally when we had boarding high schools, mixed boarding high schools.
Yeah.
Then we could practice on how to deal with girls. And the reality check that these things here are 10 years more intelligent than we are.
Yeah.
The humbling mindset when a man realizes that a woman is smart, every man needs that. Because this ego here of the man, when they think they are smarter than the woman, is the recipe for destruction once they interact with the woman. And the woman is just going to put a smile on their face and say nothing. Oh, you think you're smarter than me? Hey, hold my beer.
Damn.
Information to fly this helicopter called a woman. That's all the man needs.
I true that, man.
Don't crash and then blame the helicopter. No. How do you think the helicopter got there? It flew there. It's perfect. It's functional.
Yeah.
It's in its essence. Get the information and grow the fuck up. Do have way? Go now, doggy.
To Hamway. Together like diabs, and now we can go. We are done, man. Nice one, bro. Nice one, man. Dude, thank you so much for your time, man. It is always a pleasure, man. And thank you so much for your time, bro. Take it easy, and we will definitely be in touch.
So this is the first time we are doing this video thing. So I'll see after we end, I'll see what needs to happen in this setting.
Yeah.
I was on every other day with Eric, the captain guy that talks on Kibe, that they host Kibe with the coffee Indian guy.
Yeah.
We did this with Eric, but he was the one recording. So this is the very first time that I'm in the control.
Nice.
So after it ends, I'm going to see what I need to do and how the product looks like.
Yeah. Nice.
It's a whole learning curve for me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've never done like a live stream, and then I'm also doing this as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see what the quality is. But so far, onwards and upwards.
There you go.
Nice one, man.
Stay away from old friends. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. And it sends it's a feedback that something is not happening where you are now, that you have a need to go back.
Yeah.
There is a growth. You have plateaued somewhere.
Yeah.
And there is a growth that needs to happen so that you can stay further away from the gridlock.
Exactly. That's what I need to identify. So we will figure it out, man.
Well, in the next episode, you're going to tell me what is this obsession you have with black women.
Not only just that, but I think I'll venture off into that as well. But we'll talk a little bit about that. But also, I think it comes from the way I was raised and
Stop. Because I was going to guess that.
Yeah.
I was going to guess that.
We'll talk about it. I
was going to guess that. And I was conflicted because I know in your culture you necessarily don't use house helps. But looks like, did you have a black nanny?
No, that wasn't the case. I'll give you the story,
What was
bro.
the case?
I'll give you the story, man. I'll give you the story.
I'm wrestling because I know in your culture women don't necessarily get help from nannies to raise children. So I'm trying to figure out, where is this place in your formidable years that a black woman was so prominent that in your adulthood you go back looking for that woman.
You wouldn't even see this coming when I tell you, man. But we'll save it for another day, man. I want to call it a session, man. We've been talking for like 2 hours, man. I want to go.
It is 2 hours and 37 seconds. Yes.
Woo, that's crazy. That's crazy. But dude,
all right.
It has been an absolute
That's the
pleasure.
next episode.
That's the next episode.
But
absolutely.
don't hold back on the next text message from a different girl. I know that you're coming.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. Let them come. I have the information now.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. I respect you, man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for everybody who was on the stream.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys.
Let's see how this one goes.
For sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
All right.
All right.